So, first question to you is, what made you get into spoken word and poetry?
What made me get into spoken word? Oh my life, I have to write. Because I didn't know this was going to be a therapy session. I'm sorry.
Unpredictable with me. You should know that.
Thank you. You said this to me. Can you guys hear me okay? Amazing. What made me get into writing was literally therapy. Because I feel like I had selective mutism when I was younger. So I didn't used to say shit for like 4, 5, 6, 8 years. So obviously poetry was a way for me to tell people something that they weren't privy to, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys know about selective mutism. This is a poem that I've written that I haven't finished, and it's about selective mutism. Like selective mutism is a complex condition which basically affects children between the ages of 3 and 6. My family and I, all refugees, moved to the UK when I was around the age of 3, and by 6, these two worlds that were divided had collided into this solar eclipse of cultures because they never really quite touched. Instead, they darkened my speech and made black on my lips, so just like a blunt left lit, my very gifts turned to ash. This voice, once an active volcano in August, now lays dormant across this emotional meridian. My very core would often tremor in idioms, a living, quivering embodiment of the phrase that there truly is no smoke without fire, because I only spoke with these burning stares, and my counterparts, well, they grew up to weaponize their silence through black squares, but that's not quite the same as selective mutism. And that's not the same poem that I wanted to start with, but thank you for that question. She put me on the spot, initially that wasn't the question. That wasn't the poem that I wanted to start with. But that was selective mutism. Exclusive. I got you. These footsteps. So my name is becks.
Woo!
How you guys doing good?
I don't believe them.
Literally, I came from North London. If you guys want me to go home, cry myself to sleep.
I think you need to ask the question again.
You guys doing good?
Yes!
I go by the name Bexy because it rhymes with
Sexy, come on.
I take a white wine. So yeah, my name is Bexy Becks. In real life, on socials is @bedroompoetry_. Disclaimer, it's called bedroom poetry. I don't do erotic poetry. Sorry to disappoint you, unless you pay me. But I do things. I call it bedroom poetry because that's what a safe space is. Yeah, is this a safe space?
Yeah.
Thank you. This first poem, I wrote it in a safe space. I wrote it after I went to therapy. And they don't want to hear me in therapy.
Yeah.
You can afford it, buy me a drink. So yeah, I wrote it. So I went to therapy after like my first very serious relationship. Obviously looking back at it, I'm in love now, so it wasn't that serious, but I still did some serious damage, you know. And it was in the middle of this therapy session, I realized the phrase hurt people is not such a phrase on the Instagram page. It's actually something that's very real. Because I did it, I've seen it, I felt it, and I've abused it. I took out my pain from this Lord. If you want to find it, his name on to TV.
He's going to get bad messages tomorrow.
So everything that he did, I embodied into the next person that I found. And the person that helped me get over him was Mother Nature. Like, I had to really take a minute to sit with the trees and the lakes. Shout out Croydon. I did not know Croydon was going to have this many trees, by the way. But then I realized in this therapy session, I fucked with Mother Nature so heavily to help me get over him and all of these remedies. But then I realized, I wonder if Mother Nature labeled me as the fuckboy that first night at me. Like, I wonder if she knows that I only show up to offset all of my spiritual debts into her soul, so that I can dissolve all of those things that I wasn't ready to process yet. And I wonder if she suspects when I take illicit pics of her naked nude late at night, whilst her eyes are closed and her back is turned and her craters are exposed. I wonder if she knows that I'm creepily, in my camera roll, just creepily trying to capture bibs so that I can scroll for some superficial aesthetic pic to post to my closest friends. Like, I wonder if she knows that I'm probably going to accompany by some lame #trend like she's a 10. But when we fight, her storms get a little bit too rowdy. Because matter of fact, when we fight, her starry-eyed judgment, it gets a little bit too cloudy at night. So matter of fact, when it's me that wants to fight with her, she loves to weaponize the silent treatment. Like the other day I walked by her seat just to see her, and can you believe her tide couldn't even come in to say hi? She barely waved. And I wonder if her mood is phased when I don't call before I come over. Because truth be told is, I'm rarely sober every time I take that midnight trek along her favorite path. Like, I don't even ask consent for her leaves to part. I just dive right through her open grooves, crawling through holes where a previous fuckboy left a depression-shaped hole in the side of her fence, leaving her defenseless. And I wonder if she's content, knowing that I don't like to be seen with her in public. I publicly use her leaves and leave her telling her I prefer our poetry unpublished. You see, I have this secret place next to my secret tree where I can secretly excrete all of my insecurities into her leaves and excrete these fistfuls of CO2 laced in violence that she can breathe, and I'm the only one that gets the crystal-like clarity. And every time I say that stands up, like, I wonder how the fuck is she not mad at me? Because rightly so, because I took her for granted. I took credit for everything that her plants did and implanted it into my inflated ego and convinced myself that it was me, myself, and I who brought myself out of the gutter when truly it was her and I, and without her and I, without her and I write with a stutter. Without her, writing feels like pills on a chalkboard. It feels like how pine cones look. It looks like how you get those creases in the spine of a well-read book. Except imagine those creases have been stuck in the corners of my eyes, because it feels like I've read my thoughts more times than this scene has committed murder. I've tasted more intrusive pain than these thoughts could ever nurture. I have fucked around with her more than she deserved. So every time I finish this line, I'm like, bitch, you deserve a call. Because to be honest, she taught me the best lesson that I've ever learned. She told me the best way took it over so long is to get under them. The tree, not the eggs. So after that, I was like, well, now I'm aligned. Are you guys all aligned? Hmm?
Not even close.
You guys love yourselves? You guys love yourselves? If you're sexy and you know it, clap your hands. Love yourselves enough. If you're sexy and you know it, clap your hands. Yeah, we're moving to there. So yeah. And then I was like, okay, cool. This is perfect. I'm huge now. I'm an amazing person. Shout out to my new life. And then recently I started dating again. Woo! You guys are way too enthusiastic for the terrors that is dating.
We're living through you. Some of us.
Recently I started dating again. Now, bear in mind, like, I learned to walk long before I could even talk. So to me, it makes sense that I would rather leap into these conversations about essence and love languages. I tend to want to skip over the normalities because every time I engage in small talk, I end up coming across real fucking awkward. Shall I make you guys know? So with that being said, if there's anyone in the audience tonight that just so happened to swipe right on Tinder today, let me help us both out and get the small talk out of the way. Hey! My name is Becks. Is it right?
Sexy.
I'm going to drink first. You did it again. I like eating okra. I'm confused by candy floss. And mushrooms make me nervous. The normal ones, not mushrooms. No, I don't do drugs. My favorite color is blue. Pink would be the opposite. I think I like traveling, but these London landlords, they keep asking where my deposit is. So I rarely have money left over to explore if I do, which is rude. I feel like how are you expected to build a home when you practically live at your own desk? See, I'm working to pay for this review that I've hardly ever in. Monthly subscriptions for the inside of a gym that I've hardly ever seen. 9 to 5, I look after other people's money better than my own. Go home at 5 to 9. I'm still putting other people's worth in front of my own. And I know it's because my third eye shines so bright that I can see shadows in my sleep. And they're kind of shaped like my star sign, Sagittarius. Like my star sign, Sagittarius. Woo! You say, whoa. Thanks, Sagittarius? You just picked me. Oh, my favorite person, I think you're dead. And my star sign is Sagittarius, which apparently means that I'm this fire sign that can swim, even though I can't do that thing where I tread water, which is fine because I feel I work better under pressure. If you were to put a gun to my head, I would definitely have to say I prefer Woolies over Wikidis.
I think you're secretly from South.
I'm from Birmingham, I'm learning. I'm from Birmingham. Is this Sagittarius all over again? She's like, I can't help you this time. Yeah, so I prefer Morley's over Mickey's. And I was happy to believe that I was more of this dog person over cats until these extensive Facebook stats and tests proved that actually, no, Bexy, 98% of your spirit animal is a leopard, which I found quite odd because I don't like being put on the spot. But I do like, I like sunsets that feel like flowers, but I used to love climbing to the tops of trees until one day I tripped on the twig of my father's death and continued to tumble down as each family branch fell off one by one until I was bruised and on the ground. So now every once in a while I kind of have these rubbish days where I throw away my thoughts into trash, TV. But see, I'm never really down for too long because my rock bottom is made of trampolines and I wear my heart on my sleeve, a song into each scene. But know that these are not my scars, they're more like tribal marks where I learned to carve out beauty from my pain. And I wear my depression like the confusing touch of a soft velvet dress that's been left out in the rain until one day the sun came and it all finally clicked. One day the sun came out and all finally clicked. And then I realized if there's ever two people in this world, then maybe consider there to be two of me. See, I'm this extroverted introvert that's complex in her simplicity, who wasted 2 whole fucking summers, only to realize that I am not one of these girls who prefer bad boys or the nice guys. But see, no one told me that these nice guys, they prefer bad girls, and I'm not one of those either. I'm just this inexplicably enigmatic sapiosexual ether who gets turned on by really big words. I have 2 favorite people. To see, the longer they are, the shorter my breath. I am becks. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, oh, what's your next? Like, they say Becky. No, Bexy with an S. And they're like, oh, is it Becky? It's like, he didn't even try, you know? And guess who does that the most? All the men I was dating, yeah. Did you not see the theme for that? And then after that, I wrote this next piece. It's actually inspired by, do you know the song Craig David, 7 Days? Yeah, that was an enthusiastic one. So when I asked you to sing it, you guys are going to be just as enthusiastic, right?
I don't want to break any glasses.
So yeah, it was inspired by the song 7 Days by Craig David and by my mother. Craig David is not my mother, by the way. But when I was younger, my mom was like, do not worry about these ones. These ones, they just focus on your studies. Do this, get yourself situated. And now I'm 30, she's like, where's your husband? Just a couple steps.
Familiar story.
Yeah. And like when she was singing, she always used to play either Craig David or Whitney Houston. So 7 days. I met this girl on
Monday.
I did the poet. I'll sing it with you guys. I'll sing it with you guys. Do it shy. Take me shy. I love you. And you. Yeah. Don't leave me home. Because he's recording. This is going to go on Instagram. So I'm going to want you attention. So I met this girl on Monday. I took her for a drink on Tuesday. We were making love on Wednesday. And on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, she chilled on Sunday. That's not how it goes. He lied to all of us. He sold us a dream. You know, like, have you ever been so people that we should see Craig David as a victim? Because I had this really shit day on Monday. What day is it? The hinge one was even more unhinged on Tuesday. So I had no copyright. So after Thursday and Friday and Saturday, I cried on Sunday. be honest, I would definitely do it all over again. Because you see, after my dating spree, I learned quite a few valuable things about men. Like, never ever flick them in the forehead unless you really want to start a fight. You love it. See, they have feelings too, so be kind. Do not use a human-colored paintbrush thick enough to deliberately color outside of his ego lines. Do not test him. And if you're just venting, don't expect him to simply just sit there and say nothing, because they tend to work on this like really mysterious thing called logic. So they will problem solve every single topic. So do not ask him questions that you know you don't want any real answers to. But if you do not challenge him or belittle him. Do not make more money than him. But again, if you do not challenge him or belittle him. Also, I found with my ex, he tended to get quite upset when I constantly questioned where his loyalties lie. So try not to consistently ask him where he has been, because he will not allow you to accuse him of things that you have never personally seen. So no matter how many times that your best friend Jack you related, he will never play it. So do not play with him. And do not mistake his PlayStation for really just play. It's actually really quite serious. And when he gets serious, do not play with him. And do not cheat on him. Because again, disclaimer, these next words, these are not my words. If you have any grievances, please go on Facebook, please tell us, that's TERN. And if it gets serious, do not cheat on him. Because according to a guy named Terrence, he once told me that cheating actually hurts men more. He said, it matters like this: when the script is flipped, a man is less likely to forgive cheating than a woman is. So try not to let another guy hit it. But if you do, maybe only date Arsenal fans, because they can handle heartbreak and still stay committed.
Ouch!
And it's a compliment. But also, do not make jokes about his favourite football team. Especially on the day that they have just lost. This is a very, very fucking delicate line only to be crossed by his closest friends. And do not be surprised to learn that his friends are not really your friends. And try not to force your friends to be his friends either. And if you guys get into a fight about this and take a breather, maybe mentally prepared that in your absence he might have made a mistake or two. Do not bear a mistake. Always try to season with spice, and don't you dare ever fucking undercook the job of rice. Matter of fact, never ever fucking serve him anything raw other than your emotions, but at the same breath, try not to overfeed him. And when you see him, do not steal his hat around. And when you're getting ready for that night out, try not to take too long. For goodness sake, don't you dare ever fucking ask him when his hairline has gone. Oh! As a combination, take up your hand. Do not like this man. But most importantly, and above all else, do not assume that any of my rules will apply to anyone else, let alone the next person that you meet, because I'll tell you one thing.